Hey, everybody, how are you doing? Christopher Rausch is not going to be here tonight because he is traveling. He's out camping, spending some quality moments with his family. So it's good to see all of you guys here. Today, what we're going to be doing on the Unfiltered Experience is talking about travel and how we can travel in a way that we can find adventure, fun, and value on a budget. And so we're going to travel like kings, but on those who don't have the money to live like kings, or at least you thought. So, first and foremost, travel has become a really crazy kind of a thing since COVID, right? We've all, heard of our friends, if we haven't done it yet, going on a plane, someone's complaining about wearing a mask. It's hard, there's long lines, there's limited flights. It's been kind of frustrating. So, if you're feeling put off about travel, totally get it. But I'd like to help put your mind at ease and give you some resources and tools to make sure that your travel can be awesome. Just trust me on that one. So we're gonna have a guest here in a few minutes, but I want to share a couple things with you guys first. And let me click on the comments too. So if you guys have anything to share, I can answer your questions and comments and ideas. First and foremost, the biggest thing right now with travel is a lot of people were, sitting at home for so long and they want to get out there and they want to go see places. And people are kind of following the specific norms. So everyone's like, let's go to Europe, let's go to Disney, let's go to all the places that you kind of had missed and just seem like the obvious choices. Some of the things we'll talk about today are don't go to the obvious choices. Don't pick the place that I have to go to this place at this time, because you're going to overpay and it is going to be congested and frustrating. And we're going to give you some hints and tips on where you can go, how to choose that, and a little bit more. We're going to give you some more exciting stuff. So first and foremost, if you guys looked at the intro that we sent out through Facebook and other social media, it talked a little bit about a site called justplaincrazytravel.com. So it's justplaincrazytravel.com. And if you guys are interested in taking a look at that site, a lot of things we'll be talking about today are going to be on there. And one of the things that you can see on there too is I'm a big fan of making travel really cheap. And so one of the things we've added to that site are some credit cards you can get to get a ton of value before you guys leave for your flight. So if you guys are loyal to Hilton or Marriott or a specific hotel chain, one of the things you can do is get a credit card to start building up points and free nights. We like to use the Marriott card because it was quick and easy to get points up front and get some value quickly. Plus, if you stay 4 nights on a reward night, so say, for example, if it's 15,000 points to stay per night, every 4 nights, you get a free night. So when you even sign up for the card and only spend $3,000, I think you get 60,000 points right off the bat. So if you bought 4 nights at 15,000, you get a free night. Just for getting that card and just spending a few bucks, you're getting 5 free nights. So that's a kickstart to a great vacation right there. There's information on that site how to get that card. Click that link and you can do it. The other one I always recommend is United Airlines. We've got a card that's been grandfathered in with some amazing benefits. It's the Presidential Plus card. I think right now they call it the United Mileage Plus Club card. Very similar, a little bit different, but take a look at those cards on the site, justplaincrazytravel.com, and you guys can learn a little more about that. So now I'm going to bring in somebody who probably knows as much, if not more, about travel than me, because they were alongside of me on a year-long journey in 2018 and 2019. We traveled around the world together, and this person is the author of the book Just Plain Crazy, my wife, Kim Goyette. Hello, Kimberly.
Hey, hi everyone. Thanks so much for having me, Scott.
Oh, it's a pleasure. You're only like 27 feet away from me right now. Miles away.
That's right.
Super. Well, cool. So I want to start off by asking you right now, do you think that this might be a good time for people to get off the couch and start living their life again and start traveling?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, COVID did not hold us back for very long. I think we paused in 2020 for a little bit just because there was so much chaos going on. But as soon as 2021 hit, we got the travel bug and started traveling again. Um, Things were amazing to travel in 2021 because not a lot of people were doing it. So it wasn't a lot of crowds. There was inexpensive flights and accommodations. Now things are really picking up and it almost seems like back to normal, if not on overdrive, because people have been waiting so long and are so desperate to travel. So it is absolutely the perfect time to get out there.
Yeah, and it's gonna be tougher than normal, and you might overpay a little bit for a flight at this current time. And that's why I was recommending to you guys to get the credit cards, so you can accumulate some points, so maybe you don't have to pay for the flight, get a few free nights on the, Marriott or Hilton or wherever. So I would check that out because here's the reality. It's almost like the housing market right now. If you live in Austin, Texas, or Denver or anywhere in California, you know that everyone's overpaying. So people are so excited to travel. The airlines and hotels are somewhat taking advantage of the typical places. So this might be a great time to go to the atypical places, like maybe the Ukraine. I'm just kidding. I know it's a horrible joke. It's horrible. But all jokes aside, we were actually looking. We're going to be going to the Maldives in June, and one of the things that we were actually concerned about, and you forget, is some of the transfers. One of them was through Poland, one of them was through Sri Lanka, and these are places that are having some issues, due to some strife in the world right now too. So one thing definitely do take a look at if you're doing international travel is where you're flying through, because they might be places that are less than great. So let's talk about places we can go to, and let's talk about, what can we do now? Because I think a lot of people want to start going this summer. I think a lot of people want to get out of the house, not just themselves, but with their families, because as parents, we know if your kid's on the iPad for 2 more seconds, you want to lose your mind. So what can we start, telling everybody about travel this summer? And then let's talk about too, the book that you wrote about how to travel with your family.
Yeah. Yeah, I think one of the funnest things that you can do if you're learning or if you're looking to travel affordably and you have a lot of flexibility, whether it's in time or location or dates of travel, is to just hop on one of the travel websites like Travelocity, or any one like that, and
Expedia,
look
kayak,
up,
all of them.
yeah, Expedia, Kayak, and just look up where there's some cheap flights, right? I mean, if you are open, the more that you're open and flexible with time, location, and dates, then you're going to be able to find really good deals.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's funny because, when we took our trip around the world in 2018, 19, our daughter, of course, wanted to do all the classics, wanted to go to Paris, wanted to go to Tokyo, wanted to go to London, and just places that, you see in, storybooks or you hear about, and you're like, I've got to go there. And I'm sitting here on the websites going, wait a minute, we can go to, Thailand and stay in this small town for nothing, or we can go to Cambodia, stay in a five-star hotel for $40. So, we made it it was very specific that Kim picked places, I picked places, and Kayla picked places. And I feel like two-thirds of our budget went to the ones Kayla picked, not, by her fault, but by what she thought was going to be great. And I was always looking for the deals, and the deals often turned out to be some of the most spectacular places. Tell us about a few of the places that we ended up visiting that were not initially on your map, definitely were
Yeah.
kind of on my map, but they became more and more on my map because of value. And let's talk about what that ended up looking like.
Yeah, I mean, one of them is what you mentioned, Cambodia. We
Mm,
really didn't even have any inkling to go to Cambodia. We were already in Thailand and looking to maybe do some, um, trips from Bangkok. And there's, many areas of Southeast Asia that are very affordable. And I think Cambodia was one of my top locations to visit. So we went to Angkor Wat, which
mm.
is a temple complex, and it's one of, I think, maybe the largest temple complex in the world. And for me, it blew away any other huge monument or popular monument. Blew away the pyramids, blew away lots of other places that we visited. And I was so impressed with the people, the food, the cost of living. I mean, we ate like kings and queens.
Yeah.
We got massages every day for, a few dollars. It was really an amazing value. So I would highly recommend Cambodia.
And a couple things there too. We visited Machu Picchu. We've been to the pyramids. We've been to some of the wonders of the world, and we still walked into Angkor Wat blown away
Yeah.
for an incredible value. And to add to that, I want to share with you a few things. We're at this hotel. We're spending $40 a night for a five-star hotel. It's Kim's birthday, and I just say, hey, I'd like to do something nice for her birthday. I think they made you three different cakes and did not stop singing Happy Birthday.
Yeah.
Then on top of it, they came up with a special. It was $30, if I remember correctly, for a private dinner. You got to sit down and have a special dinner. Then you went and got a massage. Then you sat in a jacuzzi. All this for like $30, and we're sitting here going, "This is insane." It was like the most amazing thing. And then on top of it, we said we want to go see Angkor Wat, and they said we have a very special person we're going to call just for you. And it turned out that Cambodia has the version of American Idol. It's Cambodian Idol. And the former winner of Cambodia Idol picks us up in a Mercedes for like $10 and takes us all around Angkor Wat in the back doors before everyone got in. It was literally, he's like, "Do you want me to sing again?" We're like, "Sure." He's like, "Do you want some ice to put on your neck?" We're like, "Sure." And he's bringing us in, and we're literally ahead of all the crowds. You can look at our pictures. It's so hard to get pictures in a place like that with no people around. And we were always ahead of the curve. It was mind blowing. And all that is available to you if you're willing to explore the places that everyone else is not chasing to get to.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. There's so many beautiful places in the world that might not be as popular. And if you have flexibility of mind and time, then you can really experience some of the magic that this world has to offer.
Oh, no doubt. So what about, so a couple of the other places that we popped into by mistake were Sri Lanka and Vietnam. They weren't, we mentioned Vietnam, but it wasn't a definitive. And Sri Lanka wasn't even on the map. It actually came on the map by accident. We were leaving Thailand and we wanted to get into Eastern Europe, potentially Tel Aviv, and see our cousin in Israel. And I found this amazing deal that literally just kind of took us through like three different countries on first class. And we ended up popping into Sri Lanka for like 10 or 11 days. Talk about that experience, because people say they want to go to India. People want to go to, spaces for this like transformational journey. You can do it all and more in Sri Lanka. And it's a very special place. In this very moment, there's some government issues going on right there. So I'd research that. But I thought it was incredible. What do you think?
Yeah, when we traveled around the world, what was really cool was we got to experience all the different people. And I would say some of the friendliest people in the
Mm.
world are in Sri Lanka. I was really blown away by their sincerity, their willingness to engage with strangers, to ask questions, super friendly, amazing customer service. They grow 200 of the world's spices, so everything is super colorful, super flavorful. The food is excellent. The produce is amazing. And we went to a beautiful beach surf town that was awesome, and just had a great time in Welagama Bay. So
Mm.
I highly recommend it. Very affordable. We stayed at a five-star hotel right on the bay and received probably the best customer service I ever had.
Ever,
Yeah.
ever. It was the Marriott at Welagama Bay, and I can honestly, we're friends with all of them on social media still. Some of the most beautiful human beings. I love following their success and where they're journeying to another hotel to be an assistant manager over there, whatever. They're phenomenal. I literally, it was one of these places where the people were so kind, the energy was so perfect. Everyone was learning to surf, and it was just, I can't say enough about it. And the same kind of thing I think, happened in Vietnam. And one of the things that we had talked about is a lot of the places that I think are beautiful to travel and the most amazing to travel are places that have had some kind of a real issue or an awakening. I mean, think of Cambodia, you got Pol Pot and the killing fields, and all of these people were literally murdered in this country. And the gratitude level of those who are there right now is through the roof. So when they meet somebody, every moment is worth so much. So when they connect to you, looking in the eye, fully embodied, it's just amazing. And we found the same thing because of turmoil in Sri Lanka. Now that there's more peace, it was the same beauty. And of course, we all know about Vietnam, and we saw the same thing there. Talk about how lucky we were. Every time we showed up somewhere, it was the major holiday. It was amazing. We didn't even do all this research. We'd show up because of a value on a flight, and we show up in Vietnam going, well, this might be one of those great places. Talk about what that looked like and how, if you travel the right way to the places that make sense in the right time, the good things just happen. Miracles happen, literally.
Yeah, we definitely did not plan many of the miracles that happened
But they
on our
happened.
trip. But when we went to Vietnam, we found out that it was the Chinese New Year, the Vietnamese New Year. And so
Mhm.
we showed up, and there was going to be this huge New Year's celebration. So you can imagine New Year's in New York City, let's say,
Hmm.
right, with a big celebration. And we were in Hanoi and we thought, oh gosh, well, there's no way that we're going to be able to get tickets to see, the celebration. We ended up popping into a restaurant, getting a rooftop view of the entire celebration, and included was drinks and snacks and music and
Incredible.
party stuff and gifts. And it was how much? I forget how much it
It
was.
put us out like a full 50. That was one
Yeah.
of the big expenses we had for the trip. It was like a full $50. We
Yeah. So you can,
literally, so we met some people and they're like, "Oh, you're a little late to the game. It's going to be tough to find like an amazing place to, have dinner." And so they go, "There is a coffee shop over there that might be offering something." So it was a bottle of wine, a few like appetizers, like amazing cheeses, whatever. And they put us right on the rail looking out. There's this little pond that they have in downtown Hanoi, and the fireworks show's right there. Imagine if you saw Ryan Seacrest or whoever it is today who's dropping the ball. They were underneath us. We're watching them talk while we're looking up at the big screen TV. I'm like, oh, that's them. And we were right, the best place you could have been by accident for like $50. And this happened every single place we went. And I truly believe it's because we were going in that, road less, trodden, and allowing the deals to take us places, because it was with great consistency that we had the best times ever.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. I'd also like to offer some locations in Central and South
yes.
America.
Mm,
One of them was Colombia. Colombia
mm,
had a bad rap for a while because of the drug cartel and all the stuff going on in there. But we visited Colombia on our trip around the world, and also one other time. And again, some of the most warm people,
yes.
food and drinks, delicious, beauty. We went to Medellin, we went to Bogota, and both, uniquely beautiful places, um,
Phenomenal.
and great value again. So I highly recommend that. I don't know if you have anything to add about Colombia, but
No, you're totally right. So Bogota, like any huge city, you can go to parts of town that are, less than desirable, but there's so many phenomenal places that a family could walk around and you're completely fine. Same thing in Medellin. I mean, of course, there's still parts of the city, like be cautious and be careful, especially as a tourist. I would recommend anywhere in South and Central America, don't flaunt jewelry. Go strip down your watches, put your stuff in pockets, and just look like just a normal human being who has nothing to steal from, and no one's really looking at you. So
yeah.
if you come in like, look at me, they're going to look at you. And if you don't, I'm 6'4" and I'm loud, so I have to be really cautious wherever I go.
Mhm.
But we did fine. We made it back. But I
Yeah.
will say this, Medellin, when you drive in there, I think one of the only places that can rival it might be Vancouver. When you finally come into the city and you look in and you go, holy crap, because you see like mountains, you see this gorgeous city, there's just this energy. It's one of the most beautiful entries as you're coming in and you're driving down this windy road that takes you into the city, and it's literally magical. And cities don't do that for me. And I
Mhm.
know our daughter, they do it for her.
Yeah.
Kim and I are like, we like the nature stuff on water. She's mountain, probably more. And that had it all. We all had a little bit of everything. We could see the mountains. There's rivers running through it. It's special. So get there. What else? Because we had some amazing
Yeah.
places in South and
I think
Central.
another one that really blew me away that I wasn't expecting, to be so impressed, was Guatemala.
Mm,
So
mm,
Guatemala City, is very diverse and very cool. It's got an awesome vibe. But then we were able to go to Lake Atitlan when we
mm.
held a yoga retreat there, and the beauty of that space and the culture and the native people. I mean, it was just, again, really warm people, food delicious, and really, really good value. I highly recommend Guatemala. And we went during a crazy time where everyone
Yeah.
was saying that it was super dangerous, and we didn't find that to be at all.
Yeah, it's when everyone was coming. Remember, everyone was coming across the border, and they're saying these Guatemala like caravans coming through, and they're all dangerous. Again, it makes you realize how the news just amplifies things, and it's all blah 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 blah. It was, again, beautiful people, wonderful opportunity, nothing but good. And then I know that in the back of your mind, you're thinking someplace on the southern tip of South America.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it was really hard to outdo the week before everywhere we went, because it was something magical. We were like, we'd sit there every single week and go, I'm so grateful for this. This is insane. I cannot believe this is my real life. And we'd have that conversation on the plane to the next place. We'd be having a coffee or whatever and sitting and kind of blown away. And then we got on the plane to go south from Santiago, Chile, and we flew down to I'm dropping the name of the city.
Patagonia.
No, but I know Patagonia, the city we flew into. I'm forgetting the name of the city. Um, I'm blanking the name of the city. But so when we flew in, at first it was beautiful. It was pretty cool. Like it was nice. But then you get in the car that we rented, where you take that drive and you start going into what's really Patagonia, and you're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Where am I? Talk about that. Because when we flew in, the first night was nice. We're like, oh, this is pretty. It was another beautiful place. And then it turned into, okay, this is something else.
Yeah. So I think probably on the Chilean side or the Argentinian side, you're going to find a similar experience.
Yes.
But I would say that Patagonia was some of the most unique beauty that I ever experienced. We've been blessed to see a lot of beautiful beaches and mountains and prairies and all those different things. But the unique beauty of Patagonia just blew me away. It's so pristine. I've never experienced an area that's so pristine that the color of the sky just blends in with the color of the water, and you can't tell the difference between the two. It was unbelievable. So I would highly recommend it. It's not cheap. Chile's not cheap in general. So I think maybe the Argentinian side might be a little bit more affordable if you are planning a trip down there. But you might want to talk about the hotel that we stayed at, which was incredible.
So this is what I did, because I'm value guy. Everything is, how can we live like kings for, the poor man's dollar? And so I started researching, and I had a place booked on Expedia that was, and we were going right when the season was starting. Because what happens is, it's so crazy down there that no one goes to travel because the weather's so unpredictable. No one really wants to go there. You're like, you'll get killed. Like it kind of shuts down.
Over the Chilean winter.
Yeah. So it fully shuts down. And don't forget, December's their summer. So it's flipped from us. So what happened was, when we came in, we were right at the beginning of the season, and everyone starts to want to go down. So I was trying to find a place on Expedia, and I found this, decent deal for something. I mean, it's like $200 a night. It was way overpriced for like a room, but I'm like, well, we're there. And then I did a little more research, and I'm like, hey, Kim, I might have found the best deal ever. The #1 rated hotel in all of Chile. And Santiago has some nice hotels. So it was called the Singular, and it was formerly a wool processing and like animal processing plant years ago during World War II. This weird place. They redid it, made it 4 Seasons, Ritz-Carlton. It was mind blowing, and it was 5-star service. It was going to be $1,200, plus it was going to be an additional $600 for 3 nights to stay there. And I'm like, all right, we're on a budget right now, but we're like, let's do that. They never charged us for Kayla. It was only $1,200, and it included dinner in this 5-star restaurant that, when I tell you, was next level. It was unreal, with wine, with everything. Then they took us in these 4-wheel drive vehicles up to Torres del Paine, this most beautiful place. And literally the clouds came back and the sun opened up, and we saw everything as we wanted. And it was the most perfect day ever. And the guys take out tables and they make a picnic for us. They had fresh squeezed juices, the best wine you can get in all of Chile and Argentina, bringing out the food. And then we're going for a hike. When I say magic, we thought Vietnam was magic. We thought Cambodia, we kept thinking magic. This magic was like, all the magicians came together and said, we're going to do some magic that is so surreal, we can't even call it magic. It's going to be next level magic. Does that even remotely explain it?
Yeah, it's a great way to experience Patagonia, to have a tour with a picnic in the middle of the mountains and all the beauty in the background. It was really an incredible time. I absolutely loved it. Highly, highly recommend. It's challenging to get there. It's flights and driving and lots of distance, but absolutely worth it. We ended up going in the beginning of October, like Scott said, and it was just the beginning, literally the first week that they were open, because they had been stormed out, all through the winter. And we were so lucky. It's very unusual to have multiple days of clear skies there, and we were so lucky. so that we were able to see all the beauty and really experience it.
And that same room for one person, not including food, would have been $1,200 like a week later. It was just this like deal that they threw out there just to get people for the first week. And I clicked on it and I was like, what is this? And it was phenomenal. So again, if you're willing to spend a little time and look and be creative, you may just find the most amazing opportunities in your entire life. So Kim, we've been chatting for about 25 minutes now. I wanted to keep it under 30. A lot of the things that we're talking about and more are in this amazing book. Tell us about that book.
Well, thanks, Scott.
You are very welcome.
So we traveled around the world for a year with Scott, our daughter, who was 11 at the time, and myself, and learned so much, learned the hard knocks of how to travel around the world and do long-term travel. And so when we came back, I thought that it's not that I felt like I needed to share this information because we did a lot of research. We put a lot of time into it. And I thought, wow, what a great resource we could be if we could give someone a package of how to get this done. If you had an inkling of doing long-term travel, whether it's solo, with a friend, or with your family, maybe that I could provide a resource. So I wrote a book, and it's called Just Plain Crazy, the ultimate guide to affordable, adventurous world travel. And so this is everything that you need to know. It's a lot of funny stories wrapped up into it because we made a lot of faux pas along the way.
Yeah, we did.
We made total fools of ourselves. And I captured a lot of that in this book. But it talks about where to go, how to travel affordably, how to do exchange for services for travel, how to figure out what to pack, what your route should be, travel safety, how to travel with kids, homeschooling on the road. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And it's a really awesome resource, not just because I wrote it, but because we really did the research on how to prepare for this trip. It was, time intensive and slightly stressful to close the door on our lives and walk away for a whole year, but I can guarantee you it is absolutely worth it. So if you want, you can check out Just Plain Crazy, the ultimate guide to affordable, adventurous world travel, and it's on Amazon by Kim Goyette.
And the best way to get it actually is through the link on the website. It's www.justplaincrazytravel.com. And there's a link to Amazon. And when it comes through there, it actually helps us out. So if you're willing to do that, and you're going to get a lot about not just the travel and places to go, ways to, circumvent some of the costs that we come up with in travel. You're going to get ideas about homeschooling, all kinds of things. If you're coming with a family, if you're just an individual traveler, you can skim through those chapters. I can tell you there's tons of good content. I mean, I've spent a lot of time in my life finding amazing ways to travel cheaply like a king, and it's all in there. It's in there.
And then check out the chapter mistakes we made along the way, because there's some pretty hilarious stories.
I was about to say, like, listen, go to the website, check out the book. If you have any questions, you can contact us through the website. There's some very funny stuff, and like you'd expect, some of them are like, oh, why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? And here's the thing, that's fun too. Part of life and part of lessons is mistakes and how quickly to get back up from what you made mistakes about and learn quickly. So we did it. We're still here alive. Anything else you want to finish up with, Kim? How can they get in touch with you? And if you want, I know we just sold out Tanzania, but if you want to share, we're constantly traveling and taking people on yoga, wellness, and coaching retreats. Talk about a few of the ones that we got coming up.
Yeah, so we have lots of retreats this coming year. Our next international retreat is in Costa Rica. This will be our 11th year going down there, and it's very magical at Anamaya Resort. And we're taking a group down there. There's just a few spots left. If you're interested, it's July 16th to the 23rd, and you can contact me through justplaincrazytravel.com. And it's plain like the airplane, Plane. And so that's one of them. And then we just sold out, but you can get on the waiting list for a yoga and safari retreat in Tanzania in February 2023, which is really exciting as well.
Yeah, and we've been blessed to do a safari retreat in South Africa that was mind blowing. So it's going to be fun to compare and contrast. Do the animals speak different languages? Are the zebras all the same, or the rhinos all the same? Are we good?
I think that we're good.
I hope so, because the lions got a little too close to us in South Africa, and I want these ones a little further away. Maybe I don't. Maybe I like the adventure. Who am I kidding?
Yeah.
So, well, Kim, thank you so much. I'm going to drop you backstage, and then I'm going to come visit you in the other room in like 5 minutes, and I'm going to send everybody off right now with a couple messages.
Awesome. And if you could share the link to our website in the comments, that'd be amazing.
I'm going to do it right now. And it's also in the link to just plain crazy travel.com. Is that spelled right? Because I can't see that well.
I can't see it either.
We're just going to say it's spelled right. Plane. All right.
Yeah.
Just plain crazy travel. That's in there for you guys. Again, thank you so much, Kim. I'm going to drop you off real quick and say bye to everybody, and I'll connect with you about 27 feet from now.
Thanks for having me, Mr. Goyette. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Goya. Love you.
I love you.
Bye-bye. Well, cool. So that was a quick couple minutes with Kim, my travel partner, my wife, and an amazing friend who lives in the same home as me. But yeah, so we've really, as coaches and teachers, my wife is a yoga coach or a yoga instructor and coach, and she does a lot with women's empowerment retreats, and she does these a couple times a year. They're absolutely phenomenal. I'm never allowed, so I just have to trust they're phenomenal. It's a women's only retreat. We do wellness retreats in Costa Rica. We've been in Guatemala. We've been to Bali. We're doing one in Tanzania in 2023 that already sold out. Stay in touch with us through Meditation Mother. It's MUTHA, Meditation Mother. That's my wife. Stay in touch with us through the Go Love Now page, the Go Love Now group, through the Unfiltered experience. Stay in touch, because we're constantly doing things to enrich the spirit, enrich the soul, and teach you guys to really utilize others as mirrors, and the world is a mirror. And when you go to places that are outside your typical expectation, you tend to look more closely. So you start seeing other people, you start seeing other cultures, and some amazing awakenings happen. And I can tell you, I had awakening on top of awakening on top of awakening in our year-long journey. And I recommend that to anybody. I'm a big fan of coaching. I'm a big fan of looking deep inside and awakening on your own time and your own tools through meditation, through breathing. But I think travel is such a expedient way to make some amazing breakthroughs and have a great time doing it. So just want to check out with you guys. I absolutely love all of you. Again, if you guys want to know anything else about what we're doing, it's justplaincrazytravel.com. And the book is Just Plain Crazy. And I'm not just saying this because she's my wife. I would just dodge the question. I was blown away by how well it was written, how fun that book is. It's an easy read. It's summertime. Go sit in the beach, read the book, figure out how you're going to plan your journey. And I'm excited for you guys, because I know it was amazing for us, and I know it's going to be amazing for you. Love you all. Take care. Have a beautiful Friday night, and don't stay out of trouble. Get in trouble. Tell them Scott made you. Love you guys. Bye.